Good morning and welcome to Times Square today. I'm your host, Zach Viskomi, and joining me is a really special guest, Dr. Heidi. Now, Dr. Heidi is a renowned business psychologist. She's also an esteemed professor. She's an author. She does so many things, but really what she is amazing at is taking her academic research and making it applicable to people in their life and business. So, Dr. Heidi, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Zach. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, I know what you do. I know how you help people, but our viewers don't. So, can you tell them a little bit more about what it is that you do and how you help people?
I just absolutely love education, learning. I'm constantly reading books, getting as much information as I possibly can. And I've been a professor for the last 11 plus years and love being inside the classroom, but really want to start branching out and taking more of my knowledge to the workplace and helping more individuals. Really have a strong passion for organizations that have social missions and nonprofit organizations, just because I love supporting organizations that give back to our community and our world and help support others to really bring them up.
From talking before that you really do a lot and how you help people. You're even a pug mom to an award-winning pug, which is amazing. Really, it's like everything that you have set your mind to and that you've wanted to accomplish, you've been successful in, and you've now are helping other people be successful as well. And so can you share with our audience a little bit about what your mission really is and your vision for where you're going and where you're going to take people?
My ultimate mission is to share as much knowledge with as many people as possible to help them really become more efficient in their businesses, learn where they can maybe scale back and where they really need to put their focuses so that way they can grow and prosper and move along. And if I can do that with organizations that have that social mindedness behind them, even better for me.
Well, I imagine, especially working with people who are in the not-for-profit industry, a lot of them are starting that business because of their passion to want to serve people, not because they want to start a business. And so having to navigate only serving their clients and serving the people that they want to be serving, but also understanding that they've got to run a business. Yeah. Because if they're not profitable and if they're not making money, then they can't do this over here too. And so that's really where you come in to help people.
100%. I run into that every day when I talk to EDs, boards of nonprofit organizations. It's all about the mission, and which is great. That's what it needs to be about. That's what's driving the organization forward. However, at the end of the day, there's still a business behind it. We still need to think about the financial pie, what that looks like. How do we get you established to be grant ready? How do we make sure your board is trained well to support the strategic decisions that you're going to make as your organization grows? And what I really like to do is go in and help them by training them and giving them the knowledge and information that they need so that way they can utilize it in-house with their volunteers, and then they can share that knowledge amongst one another versus just, yes, I can do this task for you, but it's really not going to help you in the long run. I'd rather train and help you learn how to do it for yourself.
Yeah, and that's an amazing philosophy, right? And something that you do, I'm sure that's very unique kind of in that space especially. It makes me think of that, that proverb, right, that we've all heard where it's like, you give a man a fish and he eats for a day, but you teach a man a fish and he can eat for a lifetime, right? And so that's really the philosophy that you're bringing to how you help these people of like, let's jump in, you get to know them, their mission and their business, and then help them tie those things together so that they can just keep serving and fulfilling that mission.
Absolutely, that's the 100% goal.
The uniqueness that you bring to this angle is the fact that you're a professor. Like, you teach and have taught for a living.
Yes.
And so it's not just that you're coming in and now just trying to teach people because you've done it and lived it yourself,
right,
but you've also taught it,
Absolutely.
Which is so cool.
And I bring a lot of knowledge to the table in terms of what businesses are facing and what they're facing today. But I also have that practical application, that knowledge that you need to learn, and we can culminate that and put it together. So we put the theory and the practical together, and you got a great combination.
Yeah, that's incredible. I know we were talking a little bit earlier, and we've talked before about some of the people that you've been able to work with. And so can you share just the story for our viewers of an opportunity or somebody that you've actually worked with and made a difference in their life?
Yeah, absolutely. So probably one of the more recent clients that I had approach me was the Dula project. At first, I thought to myself, I wonder why they're approaching me. I'm not that type of doctor. I hope they know that. So I thought about that for a moment, but I said, we always continue our conversations. You never know what's going to come of them. And as I started to speak to them, I discovered what they were really looking for was they wanted someone to write a grant. So that's how the conversation started. And as we worked through that, and I learned more about their organization, I was able to educate them and teach them that while grants is something that they should have in their financial portfolio, they really weren't ready or prepared for that yet. And so we really had to take it back a little bit and start working to a point where they could get to that. I really helped mentor them and grow them up to that point, and they're probably still a little ways away from being ready for that, but they're in a much better position than they were when they first approached me.
That's so cool. And I think that's a really important part of all of this is as people are in their business and doing these things, especially in that mission, is you don't know. You see somebody else doing something, or you know that this works, or you heard it works. And so you're like, okay, great, that's the direction I have to go. But if you don't have the framework in place or the organization behind your organization to be able to capitalize on those things, you're going to miss on more opportunities than you even realize. So we could talk about this all day. There's a lot more that you could share. Obviously, you're a wealth of information and knowledge. But if somebody wanted to find out more about not only working with you, but about what you do or what they could be doing to help impact their business, what would be the best way to do that?
Probably the best way is just to go to my website, drheidi.gregory.mina.com, and just fill out the contact form and we can schedule a time to chat. But I'm on all the social media as well. I'm on Facebook as Dr. Heidi, the business psychologist, and also on Instagram at Dr. Heidi. Any of those will get you to me.
Look, I have the unique opportunity of talking to entrepreneurs like yourself in so many different industries from all over the world. And so I want to ask you this question like I ask everybody, and that's simply this. What is your tip or your advice that you would give to our viewers today on how they could thrive in today's world?
So I think in today's world where we are right now, I believe the number one thing is AI. And I know it's a hot topic. I know a lot of people are talking about it. It's here to stay. It's something that we need to, as individuals and as groups and society, we need to start learning the tools that are there and how it can make us more efficient and more productive. And I don't think it's ever going to replace us. That's what a lot of people are fearful of, right? But it definitely can create a level of efficiency where production can increase in an organization. And I know personally, I've harnessed it, I've used it, and I have seen some dramatically positive impacts from it.
Well, Dr. Heidi, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. And really thank you for the impact that you've been able to make for these nonprofit organizations and the people that you've been working with in their impact that they're making in the world too. So just really appreciate that and everything that you're doing. And thank you for being on the show today.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate being on.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for joining us on Times Square today.